I do want to go ahead and state that the Pro-Q4 is outstanding. It's incredible. It's probably going to replace half of the plugins in my arsenal. It just is. Not only is it going to improve your workflow, it also has some of the coolest features of any plugin that I've ever seen, especially an EQ plugin. So today we're going to be walking through that. So first things first, let's let the elephant out of the bag. That's not the saying at all, is it? What is it? The elephant in the bag. Oh man, gotta get rid of that elephant in the bag. Dude, that must be a really big bag. Where are you going, Costco, for those bags? This is ridiculous. Okay, first things first, the Sketch EQ is I can't get over that. That was ridiculous. I need more coffee. I think what's gonna set this EQ apart is the Sketch EQ. Being able to go in, get a rough sketch of the EQ that you wanna implement on any instrument is just so powerful. Let's say you have a snare track or a kick track and you have a specific tonality and shape that you like to go for with your kick or snare. All you have to do is click the little pin in the bottom left of the plugin and you draw the rough shape, and then you can go back in and make any adjustments that you need to. The other really amazing feature that I love that they integrated into this plugin is the attack and the release on the dynamic EQs. Don't even get me started on the instance list. If you go down to the very bottom and you click on that, you can see every single instance of Pro-Q4 within the entirety of your session. It feels like you have the power of the sun in the palm of your hand.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Let's be real, and yes, I am a Marvel fan. And another really cool feature within the instance list is being able to pin your most important tracks to the very top of the list. If you want to see drums, guitars, and production by themselves, you can do that just by going into one of the instances, hitting the little pin knob on the top left, and you can do that for all of the tracks that you want to have pinned. And then you go up to the top right, hit the double pin, it'll only show those 3 tracks or however many tracks you decide to pin. And once you're playing the tracks, you can also go to the top left of one of the instances and hit the little red circle. This is called the collision reference, and when you start playing your tracks simultaneously within your instance list, you'll be able to see a lot of the frequencies on your other tracks that are getting in the way of your current track. You don't have to go back to another instance of Pro-Q4, make those changes, close it out, and go back to the track that you were previously on. It's just going to be really, really efficient. And another really cool feature that is probably one of the biggest pros for this plugin for a lot of people is going to be the Spectral Dynamics. But I think Spectral Dynamics is a really powerful tool, but only when you use it in moderation. Because this soothe-like EQ, while it may be impressive, this is usually only a tool that you would ever want to use when you receive a track or have a track that you cannot control or go back and re-EQ it in post or however your process is. If you're not able to do that and what you have is what you have and you can't change anything about it, that's when I would pull in a tool like Spectral Dynamics. And within the Spectral Dynamics, you can also control the width of the notches by going to the slider above the attack and the release knobs. And one of the things that I really, really love that they implemented is probably not something that I would really think to do sometimes, but if there was just that extra level of detail that I wanted to integrate into my mix, being able to control the exact band slope is really awesome. Now you can actually fine tune that from anywhere between 12 dBs per octave to 96 dBs per octave. Again, that's probably not something that I would really think to do, especially when I'm in the thick of a mix and I'm just trying to get through it and I'm trying to be efficient and quick. But if I have a little bit more time on my hands, that is probably something that I would actually use, and I think that's really powerful. And I'm kind of saving the best for last, in my opinion, at least. One thing that I really like to do, especially on kicks, snare, toms, my rhythm guitars, and my bass, is integrating a little bit of saturation into it. And one way that I would usually do that is actually go into one of Slate Digital's saturation plugins, or I would use FabFilter's Saturn II. Now, I don't even have to do that. I just go down to the bottom and I can select between subtle and warm. That also will really speed up your workflow. Nowadays in mixing, from what I've learned, less is more. In this instance, you can literally have one plugin that's implementing EQ, saturation, multiband compression if you want it to, the Spectral Dynamics, as well as being able to sift through all of your instances within one plugin. I mean, I just don't know how much more I could say about how well developed this plugin is. It is amazing. This is just kind of a bonus point, and that is the presets within this plugin. They are the best. They're amazing. There's some things in here that I would have never thought about doing on my vocals, on synths, on guitars, but they're really, really cool. Again, this plugin is outstanding. Congratulations to the team over at FabFilter for putting this thing together. You did things that no one ever knew that they needed. This is an incredible plugin. Personally, I think it's the most perfect EQ that I've used in a very, very long time.